It is the Matt Thomas Show at 2:31, and we are very pleased to be joined by the closer of the Houston Astros, joining us from San Francisco, getting ready for Game 2 between the Giants and the Astros. Josh Hader making his first appearance here on the program. Josh, it's Matt and Ross. Thanks for joining us. How are you this afternoon?
How's it going, fellas? Pretty good. Can't complain.
I understand, my man.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, let's go back a little bit before we get to what's happened the last couple of days. And look, the last couple of days have sucked. It is what it is. Take us back to the process when you found out the Astros were ready to commit the big dollars to you in the long-term contract, and what that period was like for you trying to find that new baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty quick turnaround. We had some discussion early on of last year and kind of stayed in touch, and then coming in January, they reached out again and had higher interest and made an offer. And my wife and I, we have some history in being in Texas, obviously being in Corpus a long time and playing through the minor leagues of Houston. It only felt right to kind of bring all that back and try and get a World Series with a team that's done it multiple times.
Was it a little bit of a full circle moment for you because you were a part of the organization that eventually was sent off to Milwaukee? Did you feel like, all right, let's bygones be bygones? I know things are going a lot better around these parts than when I left, so you know what? Why not join the group then?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just knew the players as well and knew what the staff was about and kind of knew where the team was headed. So, we were really excited to join.
Talking with Josh Hader here on Sports Talk 790. And what has it been like for you being here back in this organization? And a little bit of a different feel, obviously, when you were first here. But you hear a lot of pitchers who come over talk about the data and the things that are made available here in Houston that maybe aren't available other places.
Sure. I would say there's a mix between that. I think also like having the guys that we have on our staff, being able to bounce ideas off of them, and really just trying to dig deeper into the game. We have a lot of guys that have been around the league a long time, and they know what they're doing. So to be able to talk baseball with them, even the young guys as well, just to talk baseball with them and learn different things, what works for them, and try to apply it to himself. And, I think that's the biggest thing about baseball is as long as you're tinkering with what you do, obviously, you know what you do best, but, being able to tinker a little bit and try new things to kind of get yourself better, it's always good. This league's always going to adjust to you. So to be able to kind of try and stay one step ahead is always a great idea.
And there's been a lot of talk, at least last year, about Yanier Diaz and learning to be an everyday catcher and calling games. What's it been like with you, your experience working with him and also Victor Caratini?
Oh, it's great. I think the real big thing is just, trying to, know what we like to do in certain situations. And I think that's been a really good thing for Yanier and also just Vic as well. Just, getting to know each and every one of these guys and, really just going through the stressful parts of accounts, at bats. I think that's when you really learn about each other is when you have to, make pitches, make calls and do all that. So it's been real fun. Obviously just getting to know them as well. Obviously I've spent some time with Vic and the Brewers, but, it's a really good relationship between us.
I don't know how many at-bats you had against your current teammates, having been primarily a National League guy, but was there anybody that when you got to camp, you're like, I'll never have to face you again? I feel pretty good about that.
Honestly, I think we've maybe faced Houston one time, at least myself personally. Obviously, thankfully I didn't have to face him too many times because this lineup, it's hard to, especially if you're a starter, just to maneuver around this lineup. It's from the top down, guys, can put a ball out of the park any time of the day. So it's definitely nice to be on this side of the tracks.
That's for sure. Josh, also part of you this year has been the ability to give the team more than 3 outs, and I think that's been a little bit of a storyline. And when did that conversation come into play? Obviously, you said, look, you're committing to me long-term financially, and the least I can do is give it to you. And I think from an aspect of physically, you can certainly do it, but the mental of having to step in and go back out for a second inning, is that a large adjustment period, or do you feel like, look, I've been there, done that, it's not that big of a deal?
I don't think that was actually ever a conversation that really came up. I think coming into the team and coming into spring training, it was, you're the closer and kind of do the one inning thing. And that's how it is. But I always told him, I'm available for multiples if we're going to need it. But I think, kind of having the opportunity to have a routine that I've built over the years that, allows me to be ready, the arm care that I do, and just really just trying to stay strong throughout everything. So I think that just gave me the ability to know how to, be prepared for that second inning when you go out, how to, get your body recovered to bounce back for the following day. And it's just, really just experience through doing it earlier on in my career, and then getting the opportunity to just strengthen my arm and just have good bounce back recovery routine.
You've been in the bullpen with two different teams. Is the bullpen chatter about the same? Food, politics, TV, women. What's it like here as compared to other places you've been?
And different baseball things like that. It's, I don't know. I've never been in a bullpen with all that other stuff, but I guess they'd say keep it low key.
Do you and Spencer Arrighetti swap hair care tips?
Nah, not really, but he does got some good flow. He's starting to let it flow. I told him, I said, man, I think it looks better down. He definitely pulled that trigger of keeping it up. So, you got to let that stuff eat.
Well, you carry a huge responsibility. Besides being the closer, Josh, Ryan Stanek had great main for the Astros the last several years. That carries a huge role for this organization, yes?
Yeah, for sure. That's why we got Spence over there. He's taking some of the hold, so we got to take it together,
I understand. Josh Haderman
got some flow.
Say that again?
I said Stanek's got some flow on him.
Oh, but it's out of control sometimes. We can admit that now that he's gone, correct?
That's fun.
Yeah. Hey, before we let you run, obviously the ups and downs of this season is not what we all thought was going to happen. What's the clubhouse like? Is it steady? Is it sometimes a little more tense? Is it relaxed? Take us into that world that, I think fans live and die with each loss because there's been so much success here. But for you as a player, especially a new player coming in, where are we when it comes to walking in to see where the overall temperature of the team is right now and your urgency to get back in this American League West race?
Look, yeah, this clubhouse is top notch. Every one of us are fighting for each other. We have a great group where the camaraderie is top notch. So the clubhouse aspect of that is great. But obviously we know that we need a sense of urgency to start pulling series together. We need to start winning series, and we all know that. We all know that. The longer we get into this, the shorter of opportunity we have. So just for us to stick to what we know, we got to play good baseball. We got to put things together and put all the pieces to the puzzle. So we have the sense of urgency of what we need to do, and now it's just going out there and making it all happen. And I think we know what we have ahead of us, and we know it's not going to be an easy fight. But what I know about these guys is that they never quit. So at the top, that's all we can ever ask for is going out there, giving us 100%, and putting everything in the right place. And once we call the 162, hopefully we'll be in the spot where we need to be.
And very last question. Tell the audience how different it is being in San Francisco for a night game as compared to a day game. I've never froze so much in my life in the month of June watching them play there. What's it like for you trying to keep warm on a June night in San Francisco?
Honestly, it's just it's that crisp, cool air. I think that's where it comes down. It's like 55, but it does feel like it's about 45. But I will say I've never sweat so much in a 45-degree temp. So once you're moving and you're getting around, it's not as bad as you think. But if you're sitting there watching a game, you can freeze your butt off. So I would say it's a different feel from daytime to nighttime.
Well, Josh, stay warm tonight, and thanks for joining us for the first time on this show. It's very nice to visit with you. Continued success, good luck, and get you guys get a series win out in there in the Bay Area, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for the visit.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, you got it. Josh Hader with us here on the Matt Thomas Show.